Good morning, students. In the last class, we had taken up Poynting vector and Poynting theorem. Today, we'll solve few examples on Poynting vector and Poynting theorem. The first example, a 800 megahertz plane wave, 800 megahertz plane wave traveling has an average Poynting vector, average Poynting vector of 8 milliwatt per meter square if the medium is lossless. If the medium is lossless with mu r is equal to 1.5 and epsilon r is equal to 6, find velocity of wave, wavelength, impedance of the medium, RMS electric field, and RMS magnetic field H, H. Okay. So 800 megahertz plane wave, F is given, F is equal to 800 megahertz. Mu r is given, mu r is 1.5. Is a lossless medium. Lossless medium means electromagnetic wave is in perfect dielectric. Electromagnetic wave is propagating in perfect dielectric. Mu r is equal to 1.5. Epsilon r is equal to 6. Right? Find velocity of the wave. So we have velocity of the wave is given by v is equal to 1 upon square root of mu epsilon. This is equal to 1 upon square root of mu naught mu r into epsilon naught epsilon r. Right? That means what? V is equal to 1 over square root of mu naught is 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7 into 1.5, that is mu r. This into epsilon naught is 8.854 into 10 raised to minus 12 into epsilon r is 6. Okay. So therefore we have V is equal to 99.9318 into 10 raised to 6 meter per second. That is approximately equal to, right, it is 100 into 10 raised to 6, or that is approximately equal to 10 raised to 8 meter per second. Next, wavelength is given by lambda is equal to velocity divided by frequency. So velocity is 1 into 10 raised to 8, 10 raised to 8. This divided by frequency is 800 into 10 raised to 6. It is given. This is 0.125 meter lambda value. Next, intrinsic impedance eta. This is given by square root of mu upon epsilon, square root of mu by epsilon, that is equal to square root of mu naught mu r divided by epsilon naught epsilon r, that is eta square root of mu r upon epsilon r. So therefore eta is equal to 377. The value of eta naught is 377. This into square root of 1.5 divided by 6. Mu r is 1.5, epsilon r is 6. This will be equal to 188.5 ohms. 188.5 ohms. We know that the average power P average is given by the formula 1 upon 2 Em square by eta. So we have here P average is equal to 1 upon 2 Em square by eta. P average is given 8 into 10 raised to minus 3. This is equal to 1 upon 2 Em square. This divided by eta. Eta is 188.5. So this comes out to Em square is equal to 3.016 or Em is equal to 1.7366 volt per meter. Okay. Now RMS value of electric field, ERMS, we know that ERMS is equal to Em by root 2. So this is equal to 1.7366, this divided by root 2. This comes out to 1.228 volt per meter. Next, last one, we have to calculate RMS value of magnetic field, that is HRMS. HRMS is given by ERMS upon eta, because we know the relation eta is equal to E by H, or that is equal to ERMS by HRMS. So based on this relation, I can write HRMS is equal to ERMS by eta. This is equal to ERMS, we know it is 1.228. This divided by eta is how much? 188.5. This comes out to 6.5145 milliampere per meter. 6.5145 milliampere per meter is the value of the electric field, magnetic field HRMS. RMS value of the magnetic field HRMS. Fine. So this is how we have to go about in solving this problem. Let us take the second example, one more example. Example 2. A radio station transmits power radially around the spherical region, the desired electric field intensity electric field intensity at a distance of 10 kilometer, at a distance of 10 kilometer from the station is 1 millivolt per meter. Calculate the corresponding H, that is the magnetic field, then P, that is the power or the power density, and the station power. What is given here, right? E is given, electric field intensity E is 1 millivolt per meter. Radius is given. The radio station transmits power radially around the spherical region, so it is transmitting the power radially outwards in a spherical manner, right? Radius is given, that is 10 kilometer. Radius is 10 kilometer. So 10 kilometer means how many meters? So 1 kilometer, 1000 meter is 1 kilometer. 1 kilometer is 1000 meter, right? Therefore 10 kilometer is 10 into 1000, that is 10 into 10 raised to 3, that is 10 raised to 4 meters. 10 raised to 4 meters. So the magnitude of the magnetic field is given by magnitude of H. Magnetic field is, we know that H is equal to E upon eta naught. E is 1 into 10 raised to minus 3, this divided by eta naught. We know the value of eta naught, it is 120 pi, right? This is equal to 2.65 into 10 raised to minus 6 ampere per meter. So this much power is transmitted in the free space. Now magnitude of power density. P, it is given by product of E into H. That is 1 into 10 raised to minus 3 is E. H is 2.65 into 10 raised to minus 6. Just now we have calculated. So this comes out to 2.65 into 10 raised to minus 9 watt per meter square, because it is power density, so it is watt per meter square. So as the power is transmitted radially outwards at a distance 10 km from the station, right, in a spherical manner, area of the spherical region is given by, so area of the spherical region or the area of the sphere is given by S is equal to 4 pi r square. So the area of sphere is 4 pi r square. We know the radius 4 pi into radius is 10 kilometer, that is 10 raised to 4 meter. So 10 raised to 4 square, pi r square. This comes out to 1.2566 into 10 raised to 9, okay, meter square. 4 pi r square, meter square, okay. So the total power is given by, total power which is transmitted radially in a spherical manner is given by power is equal to power density into area. Power density into area. Because we know that power density is power upon area. Power density is power upon area. So we get power is equal to power density into area. Okay, so this will be equal to 2.65 into 10 raised to minus 9, that is power density, magnitude of power density, multiplied by the area. Area is how much? 1.2566 into 10 raised to 9. This will be equal to 3.33 watt. 3.33 watt. So the power which is radiated in a spherical region is 3.33 watt. Okay, so this is the amount of the power. Fine. So this is all about the problems on the Poynting vector. Now let us take one more topic. That is electromagnetic waves in good conductor. Electromagnetic waves in good conductor. Electromagnetic waves in good conductor. What is the meaning of good conductor? A good conductor is the one which has very high conductivity. Is it not? Right? A good conductor is the one which has very high conductivity. For example, good conductors are copper, aluminium, right? These are few of the examples of the good conductor. So for good conductors, sigma upon omega epsilon is very larger than 1. Sigma upon omega epsilon is very larger than 1. Propagation constant gamma is given by gamma is equal to square root of j omega mu into sigma plus j omega epsilon. As sigma is very larger than omega epsilon, based on this, right? Sigma is very larger than omega epsilon, so we can neglect the imaginary part. Here, because sigma is very larger than this omega epsilon, so this portion can be neglected. Then what will be the equation? Gamma is equal to square root of omega mu epsilon into root j. Okay, right? So what is root j then? So root j, if we want to find out the value of root j, right? So how to find out the value of root j here? So root j, get in complex mode. So 2 is for complex, right? Then it is 1j, so 1i is equal to, right? Then shift r angle theta is equal to, that is we get the magnitude. So magnitude of j is 1. Then what will be the angle? Once again, if you press shift equal to, you get the angle, that is 90 degree. So the value of j is 1 angle 90 degree. So what is the value of j? J is nothing but 1 at an angle of 90 degree. Okay. So what we have here? Here we have gamma is equal to square root of omega mu sigma into square root of j. What is the j here? J is 1 at an angle of 90 degree. Correct? Now we have to find out the value of this 1 angle 90 degree or root of j, right? So let us find out that. So root j, that is square root of 1 angle 90 degrees. So we know that in mathematics, r into cos theta plus I sin theta, this is in polar form. Yes or no? This is in polar form. So if you want to find the value of this, so what I can write this? Now this 1 at an angle 90 degree, this I can write it as square root of 1 into cos 90, that is pi by 2, plus I sine 90, that is I sine pi by 2. Yes, so we have to find the square root of RHS, that is a complex number. So we have to find the square root of this one angle 90 degree, or square root of j, which is a complex number. So what is the formula here? So if x equal to r into cos theta plus I sin theta, r into cos theta plus I sin theta, then nth root is x raised to 1 upon n. This is equal to cos of 2k pi plus theta divided by n plus I sin plus I sin 2k pi plus theta divided by n. I sin 2k pi plus theta divided by n. Right? So as we require a square root here, that is n is equal to 2. N is equal to 2 because we want square root. Okay. So that means what? K is equal to, k ranges from 0, 1, 2 and so on. Right? So therefore root j, this is equal to cos of 2k pi. What is the value of theta here? It is pi by 2, 90 degree. This divided by n is 2, square root, plus I sin 2k pi plus pi by 2 plus pi by 2, this divided by 2. So what it is? Root j is equal to cos of k pi plus pi by 4, right, plus I sin k pi plus pi by 4, right, because I am dividing 2 here, so 2 to cancel, so it is k pi plus pi by 2 divided by 2 is pi by 4. So similarly here. Okay, so now as n is equal to 2, we have to put the value of k 0, 1. Okay, as n is equal to 2. So if we put the value of k equal to 0, first let us take for k equal to 0. So for k equal to 0, what we have? For k equal to 0, so our equation will become root j is equal to cos of pi by 4, k is 0, so it will become cos of pi by 4 plus I sin pi by 4. That is what? Cos 45 degree plus I sin 45 degree. Okay, so what it is? Hence root j is equal to square root of 1 at an angle 90 degree. This is equal to 1 at an angle 45 degree, right? Because angle is 45 degree, or that is simply equal to angle of 45 degree. Okay, so what we got here? The value of square root of 1 at an angle 90 degree is 1 at an angle 45 degree, or simply angle of 45 degree. Now I can write gamma. This gamma I can write it as, so what is gamma? Square root of omega mu sigma into square root of 1 at an angle 90 degree. So this will be equal to square root of omega mu sigma, right, at an angle 45 degree, because square root of 1 angle 90 is angle 45 degree, or gamma is equal to square root of omega mu sigma, right, into cos 45 plus j sin 45 So that is gamma is equal to square root of omega mu sigma into 1 upon root 2 plus j into 1 upon root 2. Correct? So that is gamma is equal to square root of omega is 2 pi f mu sigma into 1 upon root 2. 1 upon root 2 is common. So this into 1 plus j1. Correct? So that is gamma. This I can write it in the form of alpha plus j beta, because gamma, that is propagation constant, is a complex number. So I can write it as alpha plus j beta. So that means what it will be? This will be square root of pi f mu sigma plus, because root 2 and root 2 will get cancelled here, so it will be square root of pi of mu sigma plus, again if you multiply 1 upon root 2 inside, plus j into 1 upon root 2, root 2 cancels here, so it will be simply square root of plus j into square root of pi of mu sigma, So what it indicates here? It indicates here that, okay, that is, what was our equation we got? So equation is gamma is equal to alpha plus j beta, this is equal to square root of pi f mu sigma plus j into square root of pi f mu sigma, correct? So let us take it as 3. So for good conductors we have alpha is equal to, square root of pi f mu sigma Napier per meter, and beta is equal to square root of pi f mu sigma radian per minute. So for good conductors, the values of alpha and beta are equal, right? And they are both directly proportional to square root of frequency and square root of the conductivity. Okay, both are equal and both are directly proportional to square root of frequency and square root of conductivity for good conductors. Fine. So students, let us stop for today's class here, right? So in today's class we have discussed, starting from examples on the Poynting vector and the Poynting theorem, right? We started with an example, right? Then we solved two examples on Poynting vector and Poynting theorem. Okay, then later we took up the topic on electromagnetic waves in good conductor, right? And we have got the equation for good conductors, that is the propagation constant equation for the good conductors. So finally what we got, the equation gamma is equal to alpha plus j beta, that is square root of pi of mu sigma plus j into square root of pi of mu sigma. Fine. So I hope everybody have understood, students. If there are any queries, please send your queries to me. I will clarify your queries. Thank you.